Hello and welcome to QuickTale English. Today, we share a warm story about ordinary life. A pet is family, the chaos and love of a new puppy. Our story follows Alex, a man who thought his life was already complete. Alex lived in a quiet suburban house with his wife Lydia and their two children, 8-year-old Marta and 12-year-old Maksym. Alex was an accountant. He loved schedules, cleanliness, and quiet evenings. For years, Marta and Maksym had been begging for a dog. "Dad, please, a dog will protect us," Marta would plead, standing next to the sofa. "Alex, a dog is necessary for responsibility," Maksym would argue, sounding very serious. Alex always had the same answer. No, dogs are chaos. They are messy. They destroy things. And who will walk it in the rain? Lydia, however, was on the children's side. "Alex, our house is too quiet. We need some unconditional love here. And chaos is just life." The day everything changed. One cold Saturday morning in November, Alex was reading the newspaper and enjoying the silence. The doorbell rang. Lydia opened the door. Standing outside was a neighbor holding a small cardboard box. "We found this little guy near the park entrance. He looks lost," the neighbor explained. Lydia looked inside the box. Inside was the smallest, fluffiest creature Alex had ever seen. A puppy, maybe 8 weeks old, with huge, brown, sad eyes. He was a mix of many breeds, mostly golden brown, with enormous paws. Marta screamed with delight. Maksym stopped playing his video game and rushed to the door. "Oh, he's beautiful," Lydia whispered, taking the box inside. Alex watched the scene from his chair, a sudden feeling of dread filling his quiet morning. "Lydia, no," Alex started. "We cannot keep him. He's clearly not house-trained. He belongs to someone." The puppy looked up at Alex and made a small, pathetic whine. Then he wobbled, walked unsteadily, straight out of the box and peed right on Alex's favorite Persian rug. Marta and Maksym immediately started laughing. "See, Alex?" Lydia said, without anger. "Chaos. But look at his face." Maksym held the puppy up. "We must call him Sparky because he brings the spark to this house." The children were already in love. They gave the puppy water and food. They covered the rug accident with a towel. The chaos had begun. Learning responsibility. Alex tried to resist. For 3 days, he insisted they would find the owner. Lydia helped him post notices on local social media groups. No one claimed the puppy. "He chose us, Alex," Lydia declared on Tuesday evening. "He's Sparky now." Alex sighed. His neat, predictable life was over. The first few weeks were a disaster. Sleep. Sparky whined and barked all night. Alex, usually so rested, started coming to work with dark circles under his eyes. The house. Sparky chewed everything: the corner of the dining table, Maksym's new sneakers, and, most tragically, Alex's important work papers. Walking. It was November. It was cold and rainy. Alex, who hated bad weather, was now the main person taking Sparky at 6 a.m. holding a small plastic bag. Marta and Maksym were initially enthusiastic, but the reality of responsibility was different. "Maksym, you said you would clean up the mess," Alex reminded his son one afternoon. "But Dad, it smells bad. And I have homework," Maksym protested. Alex realized that Sparky wasn't just bringing chaos, he was exposing the lack of responsibility in his family, especially in himself. Alex had to be the leader. He started training Sparky. He read books about puppy obedience. He learned that dogs respond to patience and consistency. He started the routine. 6 a.m. walk, Alex's shift. 7 a.m. feeding, Maksym's job, usually supervised by Lydia. 4 p.m. playtime and training, Marta's job. 9 p.m. final walk, Alex's shift. Slowly, the chaos began to lessen. Sparky stopped peeing inside. He learned to sit and stay. The unconditional love. As Sparky grew, he became less of a nuisance problem and more of a joy. Alex found that his quiet, scheduled evenings were now interrupted by a warm, furry body resting his head on Alex's knee while he watched TV. When Alex came home tired from work, Sparky would greet him with frantic tail wags and joyful barks. This simple, pure welcome was the best part of Alex's day. He found himself smiling more. One evening, Alex was stressed about a difficult financial report. He was sitting at his desk, frustrated. Sparky, sensing his emotion, jumped onto his lap. The dog did not judge him or ask him for anything. He simply licked his hand and settled down. In that moment, Alex understood what Lydia meant by unconditional love. Sparky loved him whether he had a good schedule or a bad one, whether the house was clean or messy, and whether the financial report was perfect or terrible. Alex learned to put aside his need for perfection and embrace the messy reality of life and love. He learned that being a pet owner wasn't just about cleaning up messes, it was about connecting with another living being in a way that required him to be softer and more patient. One Sunday, the family was playing fetch, throwing a ball for the dog, in the park. Sparky ran faster than the wind, his ears flapping, his whole body expressing pure happiness. Marta ran and hugged Sparky. Maksym laughed, throwing the ball again. Lydia smiled at Alex. "You like him, don't you, accountant?" Lydia teased gently. Alex bent down and ruffled Sparky's ears. "He's not chaos, Lydia. He is life." Alex's quiet, predictable life was certainly over. It was replaced by something much warmer, louder, and infinitely more valuable. A family complete with a furry, loyal member who taught them all the true meaning of responsibility and unconditional love. Thank you for joining QuickTale English. Subscribe for more stories about family, pets, and the beautiful chaos of everyday life, and continue practicing your B1 English. See you next time.